Alright, we have an Atari Lynx that I purchased, and it is not in very good condition. I see dust on the inside, on the screen inside there, so I'm assuming it has been worked on. I'm not going to attempt to power it on because, as you can see, or maybe you can't see, can I zoom in more? There is corrosion, and the corrosion's all over here, all over here. So I think I want to disassemble this. I want to disassemble it and determine how bad it is. Even the screw has corrosion on it. All right, are there any cables? Look at that, dude. This is not going to be fun, I don't think. Oh. Oh, look at there. That's pretty nice. The board looks all right from what I could see. Let's desolder this. How this is rusted. That's insane. Okay. I mean, there's a little corrosion down in there. It's got a diode. Let's check the pins. Oh snap, look at that. Alright, so we need to somehow clean that. Let me see if I can figure out where it's at. I've got the... I hope these pins aren't eaten away. What's up, man?
What's up? How you like my mustache, man? I just shaved.
You look like
Don't say it. Don't say it.
You look like somebody who kidnaps children.
So hurtful, dude.
Yeah. I don't mean to be. I'm just being truthful. I think instead of trying to power this thing on immediately, I need to check out some of this stuff. I need to figure out how to take this let's take the speaker off so it's not flapping all around, man. White on right, or is that left? White on left. So red on white, red on right. So let's focus on this area because that looks pretty bad. I think somebody's been poking and prodding in here with a soldering iron or something. So let's put some flux down. What happens if I apply some heat here? I don't know what that is. All right, let's clean that. So Let's get some wick. Let's try to wick up some of this. See if we can see what that is. I know it's the power jack, but I want to be able to see. One, I think that power jack's corroded. All right, let's clean that. Man, what in the world happened? I've got to figure out how to get that out, because it's so scratched up I can't tell how it went in there. Somebody tried to get this out and they made it bad, because I think this has to twist or something. So yeah, it was corroded. Somebody tried to get it out somehow. Let's see if we can make something out of it from here. Shorten pins 31 and 33 so that it can boot without a game. And according to Retro 6 Wiki, you want to bring this thing up into a safe boot. So you do that by taking your ground from here, and then you inject 5 volts on your positive. So we are going to try to inject 5 volts and see what happens. Hopefully the system will boot, or it'll have a short. Alright, so I think it was a full-on short. Yeah, I've got a short. I don't think it's good though, because it's dropping the voltage down to 2 volts, as you can see. I don't think it's supposed to do that. So we will disconnect this. We need to figure out why it's dropping the voltage down. Yeah, so this is where I'm at. I got the game card reader off. I got to replace this capacitor C42. It was a... I hope I didn't throw it away. I might have thrown it away. Oh no, here it is. What is it? It is a 10 microfarad, 25 volts. All right, that capacitor has been replaced. Let's, just for poops and giggles, let's find it, whatever I do with it, and let's just see how out of spec it was. There's one leg. Holy cow, dude. ESR is 9.5 ohms. And the capacitance, now remember this is a 10 microfarad capacitor. It says the capacitance is 58 microfarad. So that thing is definitely not okay. And I set it up to 5 volts. No, it still drops it. Does the screen still come on when I do that? Yes, it does. Let's keep trying to figure out. Okay, now that we've got the game card reader off, let's, I guess, inspect it for corrosion elsewhere. I also took the cover that goes over this off. So I took the game card reader out, and I took that metal plate off so that I could see underneath it to see if there was any corrosion anywhere. All right, we need to figure out if this is just surface or if we've got broken traces. I'm fairly certain none of those traces are broken, but it's better to be safe since I see them. They look black and corroded. And yeah, we're good. We are good. All right. All right, dude, I got to find what's short in this thing, man. The only thing I saw getting kind of hot was something in here on this power board, whatever it, I think it inverts the voltage for the fluorescent tube. I don't know, I could try taking that off and see. I don't know, how do you take this thing out, man? How difficult will this be to take out? All right, it's out. Lord have mercy. All right, what happens now if I hook up power? All right, so it's drawing 106 milliamps. Okay, I think that's about correct. I think that's about what it's supposed to do. Now, I've got a bunch of parts taken off. So I guess I need to start putting some parts back on. For example, the game card reader. That might be a part that I should put back. Well, I need to clean it first. I need to soak this thing in vinegar. Now that we can take a really good look at it. And I forgot to switch over, but this is what the game card reader looks like, and you can see there's corrosion that goes all the way down into there. So yeah, I'm going to soak it in vinegar. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the capacitors that are underneath this metal shield. That way I can put all this back. I've got to put this back. I put that coil back that fell off when I was taking this off. All of this stuff looks great. I don't see any reason to leave it out. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back. All right, after I soaked this in the white vinegar, as you can see, it took care of all that corrosion that was in there, and then I soaked this in alcohol. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this. All right, so that's all done. Now I just need to start swapping out the new power components. Q4, U6, Q11, Q13. I need to install a new one. That Zener diode. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm missing. It's sitting on there a little bit crooked, but that's all right. All right, what's next? And I'm not doing the diodes because the diodes aren't friggin' big enough. I've done Q4 and Q13. We can go ahead and put U6 on here. The new U6. That's good enough. Oh, it wasn't good enough. All right, now it's good enough. All right, so from that last clip that you saw, I was soldering on U6, and then I tested it. But the thing that was throwing me off was I'm injecting 5 volts directly into the system, which this is a 5-volt system. So when you put a 9-volt power jack, wherever my power jack's supposed to be, when you put a 9-volt power jack into here, or you connect the 6 AA batteries, which equals 9 volts, the power circuitry inputs 5 volts to the system. And that's the part that was throwing me off. So if I go over to the schematic real quick, not to bore you guys with schematic talk, but it's relevant to what we're trying to accomplish. What I'm essentially doing, like I said earlier, was I am taking the ground from this side of Q11, which is chassis ground, and then I'm injecting 5 volts directly into the system. So as soon as I cut it on, it should attempt to boot. And so it didn't help anything. I connected the speaker. I didn't get sound from game audio. I didn't get any of that. And it was throwing me for a loop. So then I started troubleshooting this thing right here. And so I had it off. And this was causing the voltage to decrease from 5 volts down to like 2.84 volts. And it would draw max current. So I took all these components off one at a time, and I tested them with the tester, and they were all good. So I'm like, well, the short's got to be somewhere else. The short has to be after this, but the only thing this seems to connect to is my fluorescent tube. So I don't know. Anyhow, I resoldered everything, put it back on there. I noticed that when I connected power, so if I connect power, let's switch over to scene 2. So once and again, I'm bypassing my power circuit altogether, and I'm injecting 5 volts directly into the system. I have a gain in, so let's let's get this situated. And let's power it on and see what happens. So I heard my speaker click, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's showing a game. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's actually showing a screen. So it's booting. I just don't have any sound, and I don't know why. All right, so I think the first place we can start with this is to replace these capacitors here. They don't look bulged, but I don't know. Perhaps they're bad. So we will change them just to make sure that we're not leaving any stone unturned. I'm probably not going to record myself doing this because I don't know. I think some of these have something to do with this here. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll change them all just to be on the safe side. And I think I've already done all of these over here. I've done this one, this one, this one. There's one under here I did these two here. I did that one. So these I'm sure for voltage or something going into our processor and RAM and all that stuff. So I think these are the only ones that I haven't swapped out. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so I replaced all those caps. I have it booted. It is booted. You can't see it. It didn't really make the brightness any brighter, I guess. But one thing I thought to myself while I was doing that. So I don't know if this is like a Sega Game Gear, where if you just put a game in and you boot it up, it starts making noise. I thought to myself while I was doing those capacitors, maybe I need to press a button. So if I press a button, so there you go. The sound is good. The sound is good. This thing has probably been booting when I had the after I pulled the power module off, and it started to behave normally in terms of current consumption. It was probably booting that whole time. I just didn't realize it because you have to actually press a button to get it to come on. So yeah, so sound is fixed. I replaced every capacitor on this thing. It's still super dim though. I don't know why. I don't know how to make it brighter. But the next thing we need to figure out is if the power regulation circuit is working correctly. Because I've been powering it directly, 5 volts directly into the system. Now I need to figure out if I can inject a full 9 volts on my either a jack that I cannot find. I cannot order this jack, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But yeah, so we need to figure out if we can power it from here. So we are going to remove this. So the idea is that we should be able to connect our ground cable here and our hot here, and we should be able to inject 9 volts, but it should only actually, the power circuit should only output 5 volts to the system. So I can't find the on-off membrane. I don't have any idea what I did with it. But I should be able to just take this and go like that for now, or short it out with my tweezers. It doesn't really matter. But anyhow, so what we're going to do is I'm going to inject voltage like I had a battery pack connected into the console. And then what I want to check for is if my power circuit, wherever it's at, is regulating the 5 volts going into the system. So we're going to start with 5.5 volts on the power supply. And we are going to watch for what the regulated voltage is. And it should stay around 5 volts. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut the power supply on. I am going to turn the console on like so. And if I measure from ground, and we're sitting at 4.59 volts. That's the voltage going into the system. And I can confirm it is booted. So let's turn it off. Let's cut it up to 6 volts. We're going to turn it on. Why does it cut on automatically? I don't, maybe, well, let's check the voltage. So I'm going positive, battery terminal. All right, let's check voltage. So we're sitting at 5.08 volts at 6 volts in. So what happens if we bump it up to 6.5 volts? So we're sitting at 5.31. Is that normal? So what happens if I bump the power supply up to 7 volts? I don't know why it's cutting on automatically. Let's check voltage. So 5.32. Okay, so not much more than before, right? So let's turn that off. Let's cut it up to 8 volts. Let's check voltage. Yeah, 5.35. So yeah, it's regulating it pretty well. It's not helping with this screen though. This screen seems to be pretty well shot. So the last step is 9 volts. So that's input power to it. Let's hope I don't blow anything up. Yeah, 5.37. So it's regulating the voltage like it should. So that's good. So that tells me that this console is fully functional. That's what it tells me. I'm just missing a power jack. The screen looks like crap. I think the only way really probably to fix that, since I've changed every capacitor, is to replace the screen, because I can barely see it. That's as bright as it gets. My on-off button is not working. I've cleaned it. I don't know what else to do. It works when I short it with the tweezers. All right, we're going to try an experiment. So I think the issue with these is all the graphite is worn off. So we're going to attempt to replace that graphite with just some lead from a pencil. I don't know if this is... So now what happens? A little super glue, right? And I put it on, the pads here, right? And then I take and go and then I do this one. Like that. I don't know if that's going to work. It doesn't look very happy. Well, we'll let that dry. Yeah, we'll let it dry and see what happens, man. It might just be enough to get it fixed up. All right, we're gonna try this out, y'all. We are gonna try it out. I put the thing back in there. That's red, yeah. This is ground. Let's plug our hot back in. All right, so we got this all set up. All right, so we're gonna put power on. Ha! Look at that, dude, it worked. It worked. Can we cut it off? Ha! Who is the man? Some pencil lead, and some super glue. I'm probably not going to leave it like that because I ordered some things. You could even, now that I think about it, you could even like layer it more on there. You know what I'm saying? Where you wait for it to dry, crush up some more lead, put another layer of super glue, and then put it on there, and then maybe file it down a little bit. Or maybe you can take like one from another pad, from another game pad if you've got them laying around, and you could borrow and glue it on there. Anyways, I'm sure there are a million ways to fix that, but I just wanted to see if that would work, and it did. So I think that is pretty daggone cool. So yeah, that's that for this part of the video. I've went ahead and cleaned off all the battery. Ooh, I'm glad I cut power off. Got all that sorted out. So now I just need to put together the battery holder. I cleaned it as best I could. So I just need to get this all set back up in there, and we should be good to go. All right, so I got this battery thing put back together. I don't remember exactly how it was on there. I think it was like this, but anyhow, it's negative, and then positive, then negative, positive, negative, positive, and then goes from positive to negative. And then so when I put 6 batteries in here, I should be able to check voltage, and it should be 9 volts, right? If I could ever get this cheap behind multimeter to actually put the voltage on the screen, I'm going to end up having to, so let's see here, it's negative, and positive, and we get 9.49 volts. So yeah, I should be able to take that. So let's remove the battery and solder these back to their spots. So I think that's on there. So let's see if we can fit this on here. All right, let's put our game in. Let's put our batteries in. Let's flip it over gently. Let's press power on. It powers on from batteries. Unfortunately, that's as good as I can get the screen, and I don't think y'all can see it. Oh, there you go. You saw it then. Kinda. Yeah. Well, now my sound doesn't work anymore. Oh, you know why the sound doesn't work anymore? I forgot. I disconnected the speaker. As a matter of fact, the speaker's right here. Anyhow, so you guys already heard it working and the sound anyhow. So I did this video is getting to be long enough, but I did find a power jack, but I had to buy a whole power kit just to get the power jack. Console 5 and places like that, they said that they were out of let me just leave this together until I get those parts in. I gotta take it back apart anyways, but yeah, so I'll put the power jack in. I'm assuming it will work. I don't know. I don't know how to get, we know it regulates 5 volts, whether that's 9 volts coming from batteries or 9 volts coming from a wall adapter. It's irrelevant. 9 volts is 9 volts. But that stuff isn't going to be here for a while, and I think I'm going to wrap this video up. But it was very corroded. Now it's less corroded. And I didn't, there were a lot of things that I did to this that I didn't have. I couldn't put in the video because you're talking like 12 hours of me taking components off, desoldering things, putting fresh solder down just to make a good connection. But it is fully functional, other than the screen seems to be shot. I think these are like the Game Gears, the screens are they just go bad because they're so old. So I think the only thing that would really bring this to life would be an IPS screen. And then, do I want to put an IPS screen in a case that's this hideous? It's missing its battery cover. That's another 20 bucks people want for a battery cover. I haven't even seen the game cover. I haven't even seen that for sale on the webs. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna invest any more money into this. I'll put the power jack in it when it comes. I bought some things that hopefully will make all of the buttons work for ever. But my little I like my little pencil lead trick. That worked pretty good, man. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits for this video. If you think I should buy an IPS screen for it, let me know. I will. They're like 69 bucks from AliExpress. Like 89 bucks on Handheld Legend. So yeah, let me know what you want me to do, man. And I'll do it. Anyhow, y'all be good.